Alright, so let's have a look at some ways that we can make our grooves a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more texturally interesting. This simple rock groove looks like this. Dum, ga, go dum, ga, dum, ga, go boom, ga. Right, right, left, right, 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 left, right. And notice that I've always got these ghost notes happening in between everything. Right, my hands are just right, left, 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 constantly. Doom, ga, goom, doom, ga, doom, ga, goom, goom. Notice as well how high away from the instrument, how far away from the instrument my hands are not coming, right? It's all staying very, very close. That gives me much more control. If I were to come further away, I would have to control the way that I'm coming down, right? But if I stay close, then I can, be more in control of the way that my fingers are moving. So I'm going to do the exact same thing now, but this time, just keeping a couple of my fingers rested on the tone field of the ding, which mutes everything. Now, because I'm using this finger to play the ghost notes, I've got this constant happening underneath. It's very subtle, but it makes a big difference. What happens then if I just move this hand over here? Now my ghost notes are happening on this muted section. Got a bit more of that higher pitch, again giving it a completely different texture. So now if I want to get that gung gung with the left hand, I'm having to bring in the thumb, which means that I'm lifting the hand a little bit, because all of these different things have different consequences, so I have to move my hands in different ways, which in turn creates a different texture. So I'm kind of letting what I have to do in order to get the basic model of the groove affect the way that the sound is shifting, and so it's just naturally developing into something different. Hear how that opens up, open, closed. Now we open and close it again. I can also, when I bring my hand down to mute the whole groove, I can do it with a little bit of force. So now I've got another texture happening. I've got my palm hitting this part of the pan, as well as my fingers hitting the tone field of the ding. This little roll, I call this the drumstick roll, because I'm treating my fingers like drumsticks rather than using this whole split hand thing. And it's just middle, middle, pointer, pointer. And again, because it's muted, you've got a whole different texture. Again, you see how I'm lifting occasionally to let it be more open, and then using the mute as a percussive sound in itself. Opening that first beat. Now we can start to introduce some other textures like knocks, for example. You can knock here on the tone field to get that deeper sound, or here in the interstitial to get that higher sound. And it doesn't matter what I do, as long as I always bring it back to that. again, if I make everything really quiet, then whatever I do to open it and bring more of that dynamic into it, it's going to have much more of an impact. And I'm just experimenting with replacing ghost notes with different sounds, and I can completely divert from the groove and just do random things like this, and it doesn't matter how long I do that for, as long as I bring it back to this. So I invite you to experiment with keeping those hands low. Use as many different muted sounds as possible while still keeping the core of that groove. And then, yeah, start to experiment with opening that up, bringing the hands away again, creating a more open sound, and then bringing it back to this groove. If you think you're playing quietly enough, then play even quieter. You can always bring that dynamic down. This is just a general rule for all of music, like whether or not you're composing, improvising, whatever, always start as low as possible so that you've got room to expand. And it's the same with making grooves interesting. Yeah, and that's just the thing that's going to make you go from a beginner who can play a cool groove to a more advanced player who can play a cool groove and make it sound really musical, give it breath, give it life, and yeah, make it look and sound really comfortable and secure. So, cool. Enjoy.